Bruce was attacked by a deadly rattlesnake. In that frightening split second, he was thrust into a dangerous and excruciatingly painful fight for his life. Although Bruce survived, he was left with permanent scars, both physical and emotional. Now, in this volunteer challenge, with his wife Nancy by his side, Bruce will get a chance to conquer his worst fear, the deadly rattlesnake.
My friend Jim shot off to the side, off this plateau by bush. So that's where I went to help look for his ball.
And that was his near fatal mistake. Bruce walked into the thick shrubs and stepped right on a rattlesnake.
There's like a 2x4 with nails in it.
We got him in the cart. 911 said to elevate your leg, but don't cut the wound, don't put your mouth over the wound, just leave him alone and try to keep him calm. And he is a master in karate, and so he told me what he was going to do with his respiration. He's going to get it down to about 45.
And as we were going by, just past the first hole, that's when my tongue and mouth started going numb, and then I could feel the poison spreading, toxin spreading to my face.
Bruce's ordeal was just beginning. The snake had retaliated the only way it knew how, by injecting its dangerous venom. Within seconds, the poison would be coursing through Bruce's body, breaking down muscle tissue and wreaking havoc on his nervous system.
And then the pain from my legs started spreading this way, and that's when I knew it was very serious.
I really don't think that Bruce had a clue as to how bad it was. I had seen his blood pressure drop to 64/28. He was gray in color. The neurotoxins were making his leg muscles pulse and his pectoral muscles and all of his facial muscles were twitching, and I could see the swelling on his leg and how far up it had moved.
The doctors administered an anti-venom antidote, but Bruce's body reacted violently to the serum.
I started breaking out in huge welts, my throat started swelling, and my wife goes, "He's dying again, he's allergic to it."
Doctors race to save Bruce. He begins to respond to a new anti-venom serum, but time is running out. He is bleeding internally. His leg is swollen to twice its normal size, and the pain is overwhelming. Bruce fears that death may be imminent.
I thought maybe I might die, and I called my wife in and I said, you know, this is kind of emotional, because I said, I've done more for my kids than any other parent. And I said, I can go peacefully if the Lord's meant for me to go peacefully.
That was a horrible feeling. It was just pretty horrible. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it.
Bruce struggled for more than 10 days in the hospital, but thanks to the doctors and the right anti-venom serum, he survives. Months later, he can't bring himself to play on that golf course, and what was once his favorite pastime now causes him anxiety. Bruce is ready to conquer his fear and reclaim his freedom. The first step is an introduction to our snake expert.
Hi, Bruce. I'm Bob Popplewell.
Bob Popplewell has worked with snakes for 35 years.
All rattlesnakes are mean, and they all can bite. They're all capable of striking. He has fangs and a full set of venom.
According to our expert, Bruce did the right thing by staying calm. It's also important to clean the wound. Try to remember what the snake looked like so the hospital can provide the correct anti-venom. Now, it's time for Bruce to learn how to avoid being bitten.
We're going to share some of our wildlife with you. Step right on up in here.
Oh my gosh, that is unbelievable.
Bruce and Nancy are unnerved by their first encounter with the rattlers.
These guys are kind of making my heart just skip a little beat right here, and how you feeling?
This is not a good thing.
We're going to go up to one of the caves in just a few minutes.
Well, I came here to take a look at rattlesnakes, and I guess I'm ready to go.
Hundreds of snakes are hiding in these woods, and each step reminds Bruce of his brush with death. Over the next few minutes, Bob will coach Bruce to the point where he will actually hold this Texas rat snake in his hands. This snake has huge teeth and resembles the rattlesnake.
This is a snake that will bite. Feel him, he's very cold and sandpaper feeling, but this snake will bite in a New York minute. He'll spin around and nail you, and he has huge teeth for holding on to it.
Nancy is nervous, but Bruce is determined. He takes the snake in his hands.
My heart's still going because I know right there, a few feet away, is got a big rattlesnake. I'll take it from here.
Since being bitten, Bruce has avoided the golf course for fear of a lurking snake, and now he is actually holding one in his hands.
So when we get our rattlesnake, we're gonna ultimately, if you're ready, we'll do basically the same thing. Just ease along, don't worry about him. We'll get him ready. Are we ready for the next step?
What's the next step?
We move to the real thing.
And you have one in there.
Yes, I do.
The final test will bring Bruce face to face with the type of snake that almost took his life.
All right, we're gonna set him over there and put this guy back in here. He's not going anywhere right now. He can't strike as far as you are, so just stay with me here. That's a serious snake. He's very dangerous. He has his fangs and his venom. He's capable of technically killing you, and you know how painful the bite is, and you know what it can do. This snake can do every bit of that. We'll force his head down, make sure we don't have anything under there with it, and we'll reach over, get him behind the jaws, get him with the tail, and that's what you're looking at, the business end of the snake.
Oh my gosh.
Now let me show you something here. This is where we're gonna help you out a lot, Bruce. This is gonna be negative, but I think it'll help you understand it. This is what the fangs do when they enter the skin. They're exposed and they're razor sharp.
Bruce nearly backs down, but Bob patiently works with him to help him overcome his fear.
This time he can't come around.
Bruce makes a few attempts to touch the snake, gets up the nerve to take his final challenge.
Ah, you see? You got a real rattlesnake in your hand. And you were talking about maybe you'll touch one.
I got one in
Look
my
at you.
hand. I want to take my eyes off this guy.
More? You didn't know they had that much, did you? You thought he was empty, didn't you?
That's just, now, wow, the other, he's just pouring that venom out.
Tell me you got him. Do you have him?
I got it.
Now, believe it or not, you, my friend, are holding a diamondback rattlesnake. You have him under control. He's not doing anything. Now, remember we said on your other hand?
Front finger in the right position.
It's perfect. Hold him right here. Reach under here and hold this. This is primarily designed to keep him from wiggling when you pick him up, all right? Just keep your hand there. How we doing?
Okay.
How you feel right now?
I'm just focused on this.
Bruce uses his training in karate to focus on the snake and to control his anxiety.
You're focused. I can tell you're focused. But look at the progress you're making. You've got a rattlesnake, and you've got him exactly right. Squeeze him like we showed, about as tight as you want to. Come up when you're ready. Just hold that. Easy. Come up this way a little bit more with your hand. All right, now keep him from flailing. See, that's what you're trying to do. You got him.
Okay.
Look at that.
I did it.
You did it.
Nancy, I did that. You know, this is a pretty amazing position.
Look at you.
You can do this. I knew I could do it. I was trying to stay calm, focus on the rattlesnake and try and listen to what you said.
Did you feel how strong he was right at the end there when he was pulling out of your hand?
Yeah.
I thought you might have lost it for a second there.
Bruce began the day terrified of an accidental encounter with a rattlesnake. Now, he is in total control of one. His fear is gone.
I always have to face my fears, and I also tell my students and friends, always write down goals. You'll never achieve them, and I'm sure if I didn't do this, I would have a big mental block in my life.
You did good.
I tell people to develop what you can, be the best you can be, and give it back to the world. Because the greatest significance in your life is if you can teach other people to teach other people and have great values, because you never know whose lives you're going to touch. And don't go looking for golf balls in the bush.
Bruce is now back golfing at the very same course that had the rattlesnake.
in the rough.